Viktor Trihobov, spokesperson for Ukraine's Khortytsia Operational Strategic Group, has announced that Ukrainian troops liberated the village of Pishchain near the city of Pokrovsk in Donetsk Oblast. A series of counterattacks by Ukrainian forces have achieved some success. Specifically, it had already been reported, and we can now confirm, the liberation of the village of Pishchain, which is about 5 kilometers south of the city of Pokrovsk. Russian troops have also been pushed back from several other nearby settlements, he said. Trihobov stated that there had been a certain turning point on the Pokrovsk front. The Russians had serious intentions of partially encircling the city of Pokrovsk. However, they suffered significant losses on this front last month. This month, they have also been, let's say, halted and even pushed back in certain settlements, Trihobov added. He remarked that this progress was due to the effective use of drones and the coordinated efforts of various Ukrainian military units. The successes of Kiev's forces were a setback for Kremlin tactics that have employed relentless firepower and often accepted massive losses in men and equipment in its attempts to gain ground. Russian millbloggers confirmed Ukrainian troops in the Pokrovsk sector, the epicenter of a grinding Kremlin offensive since early 2024, advanced more than a kilometer on an 8-kilometer wide front to break into the Russian-held village of Pishchain in the Donetsk region. According to Deep State Ascent Project, Ukrainian forces had reclaimed positions in Pishchain on February 11. The project also reported Russian advances near Yulikli, Novy Komar, Preobrazhenka, Andrivka, Zaporizhia village, and Novocherechevat on February 16, and near Zelenivka and Dakny on February 15. The Russians lost the state-of-the-art TOS-2 Tasachka flamethrower system near Pokrovsk. Accordingly, the photos were published by the national news portal TYSCH on Telegram with reference to the user Aloha in the X network. The photos taken by the Russian military near Pokrovsk showed the first loss of a Russian TOS-2 Tasachka heavy flamethrower system. The system was used by the Russians against the Ukrainian defense forces and was destroyed by an unknown weapon, which caused a fire in which it burned. The enemy system was destroyed in the village of Petrovka, Pokrovsk district. The first use of the new heavy flamethrower system was reported in October 2023, when the Russian Ministry of Defense officially confirmed that the system was being used in the war against Ukraine. TOS-2 Tasachka is a modernized version and further development of the TOS-1 Buratino and TOS-1A Solnsipek heavy flamethrower systems, which are already in service with the Russian army. The system was developed by NPO Splav. The launcher is based on the Ural 637066 6x6 truck. Unlike TOS-1 and TOS-1A, which use tracked chassis of T-72 or T-90 tanks, respectively. The TOS-2 cab has been armored to protect the crew from small arms fire. The wheeled chassis increases the launcher's efficiency, mobility, and range. The developers state that the system can use modernized projectiles that allow it to fire at a greater distance than the TOS-1A missiles, which have a range of 6 kilometers. Militarny previously reported that in June 2024, the Russian Ministry of Defense presented its new TOS-3 Dragon flamethrower system with an extended range for the first time.
A new development in Ukraine's drone warfare capabilities has emerged, Forbes reports, as its tech correspondent David Hamblin analyzed footage shared by Ukrainian electronic warfare expert Serhiy Flash-Beskresnov. The video reveals a modified version of the combat-proven Shrike drone that can operate both in air and underwater, potentially signaling a significant advancement in drone ambush tactics. The emergence of this technology suggests a potential new phase in drone warfare where the battlefield extends not just across land and air but also beneath the water's surface. Multicopters make poor submarines, but that may not be relevant. What matters is that the drone is able to land in water and remain hidden for a period of time, writes Hambling, highlighting the tactical rather than technical significance of this development. Meanwhile, Beskresnov hints at more extensive capabilities not shown in the public footage. The demonstration in the video is not as impressive as the sight of drones taking off from underwater in a lake, he noted. The Ukrainian Shrike drone has already proven its effectiveness in combat. In 2023, Ukraine's Minister of Digital Transformation, Mikhailo Fedorov, announced the procurement of over 1,500 standard Shrike units through the Army of Drones initiative. Their combat record is notable. A single operation in October 2023 reportedly saw 35 Shrikes destroy 8 tanks and 4 personnel carriers in a Russian convoy. While submersible drones aren't new, examples date back to the 1920s, and recent developments by the US Office of Naval Research and Chinese manufacturers, their military application has been limited due to performance constraints. However, the Ukrainian adaptation appears focused on a specific tactical niche, concealed ambush positions in waterways. The new capability could allow these drones to hide in lakes, ponds, canals, or the many water-filled craters along enemy routes, Hambling reports, making it significantly more difficult for Russian forces to detect potential ambush points. This development follows Ukraine's pattern of adapting commercial drone technology for specific battlefield requirements, similar to their successful deployment of fiber optic controlled drones to counter Russian electronic warfare. Submersible drones are more practical, though not much more. In principle, multicopters can fly in water as they can in air and without the need for a pressurized capsule for the pilot. With the issues with weight and buoyancy that this brings, the design is much simpler. In theory, at least, a quadcopter can fly to a given location, dive underwater and operate in submarine mode. Of course, water is much denser than air and the swimming speed is slow, so batteries are rapidly exhausted. Ukraine has also recently started deploying FPV attack drones from its uncrewed speedboats. Special edition Shrikes could be dropped off covertly in coastal areas, ready to be activated when Russian vehicles appear on the land or boats come near on the water. Submersible drones may be a niche capability, but if the cost and complexity of making a drone watertight are relatively low, then, like fiber FPVs, they may proliferate rapidly. As with fiber drones, they look difficult to counter unless hunter-killer submersible FPVs can be developed to seek them out.